Hello, everybody. What we're going to learn about today are we're going to learn about angles and unit angles and degrees and how to measure angles. And this is a pretty involved lesson, but I'm going to do my best to make it as simple as possible and as short as possible so you could watch it several times if need be. I apologize in advance if you hear any loud noises or see people in the background. But we are getting a new roof put on as we speak, and I just hope nobody dropped through the ceiling right here, right on top of my head, because we got people, like that, 6 of them on the roof. Now, let's talk about angles. We know yesterday we learned about what a right angle was, what an acute angle was, obtuse, and so forth. But let's say we have a circle like this. It's a plain circle. You say, there's no angle right there. You're exactly right. But if we go right here, and then come across right here, now I see a right angle right here. So in order to understand angles, it is imperative, which means it's very important that we know what a degree is. A degree is more than just the temperature outside. A degree we use to help measure angles. So I drew a circle here. So if we went all the way around the circle like this, and stop where we started here, this would be 360 degrees. And that little symbol right here stands for degrees. So that'd be 360 degrees. So when we look at our right angle, come down here and right here. This is our right angle. If you remember, that's how we identify a right angle. Well, this is 1/4. I'm going to shade this in right here. This angle right here is 1/4 of this 360 degrees. So we know that 360 divided by 4 equals, because there are 4 equal parts here, equals, I'm going to bring it down here, 90 degrees. Okay, that was 360 degrees divided by 4, because there's 4 equal parts, equals 90 degrees. So this angle right here, the right angle, equals 90 degrees. Okay, so that is how we measure. You'll never get an angle greater than 360 degrees. That's where it stops. It's just like there's 12 is the highest number on a clock. Well, 360 is the highest amount of degrees that you can get out of any angle. So with that being said, let's dive into that a little bit. So this was 1/4 of the term. We went rotated 1/4, and it's 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, which is 1 whole. So to put things into perspective, you guys, if we went 1/360th, that would be barely moving. Oh, barely moving. But there, then we'll go, the next would be 2/360ths. It's barely moving. So by the time we got down here to this 1/4, we saw was 90 degrees. This was actually 90 360ths. And if you break that down to its lowest form, its simplest form, it would be 90 divided by 90 is 1. 360 divided by 90 is 4. That'd be 1/4, and that measures up to where we're at. So just a takeaway: 360 degrees in a circle, and we are going to measure a few more different circles, and then we're going to be done. Or a few more different angles, I should say, then we're going to be done. So with that being said, let's continue to work with some other angles and some other examples. So you'll shortly see that I have a cheesecake, a delicious cheesecake right here, cut up into 6 equal slices. 6 equal slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I see a bunch of different angles there. Actually, 6 different angles. So I want to know the degrees, the measurement of this slice right here. That slice right there. So I see 6 equal slices. And again, I know if I went all the way around, our magic number is 360 degrees. So I want to know the number of degrees in this angle right here. In this angle right, this one slice. So I am going to go 360 divided by the 6 equal slices, which would give me 60 degrees. Yeah, that makes sense. So 60 degrees. So this one slice right here would be 60 degrees. Now let's just say my wife smelt that cheesecake and she said, "Oh, can I have some of that cheesecake?" Sure, have a piece. So now we have 2 pieces that we're measuring right here. Now my angle, now I'll get a red little pen, is I'm looking at this angle. That angle. So that is 2/6 of the pizza. So 2/6 of 360. What I'm going to do is just do what I just did right here. So I'm going to take a 360 degrees and then break that down into 1/6 right here. Give me 60. But now I know it's more. It's twice as 60 right there. It's double it. So this angle right here would be 60 degrees plus another slice of pizza, 60 degrees equals 120 degrees. So this, from this heavy line right here to that line right there, now this angle coming forward like that, going around, that's how we measure degrees, is 120 degrees. If we kept going all the way around, we'd end up back at 360 degrees. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We're gonna do one more example, and then we're gonna call it a day. And give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so far we've learned that an angle has a certain amount of degrees. Now, what if we were given the degrees and we were supposed to write the angle? What would we do there? Well, we know that a right angle has 90 degrees, so we could simply just write a 90-degree angle, which would look like an L, or a backwards L, or an upside down L. Let's say, well, what time would it be on a clock, or where would the hands be if the 2 hands were at a 150-degree angle? Well, the way you would calculate this is I see that there are 12 equal spaces that go around the clock. Each one represents an hour. Now, you want to break it down into unit fractions. You always break things down into unit fractions. Unit fractions is where 1 is the numerator, and then whatever you're talking about is the denominator. So this is 12 equal parts right here. What is 1/12 of 360? 360 degrees. Well, I know that if I went 1/12 times 360 degrees equals, well, I know that 360 is the same as 360 over 1. This would give us 360 over 12. Now, that is the same thing as 360 divided by 12. If you did the math, that would give you 30, and we're going to call this degrees, 30 degrees. So I know that 1/12 equals 30 degrees. So how many combinations of 30 degrees would I need to make in order to get our 150 degrees? What would that angle look like? Well, we're going to start off with our 12 right here. And then our angle is going to look, it's going to be somewhere around here. So I know that 3 times something equals 15. So 3 times 5 equals 15. So I'm going to go 30 times 5 equals, 3 times 5 equals 15. And then we bring our 0 over. So 30 times 5 equals 150 degrees. So that would be 5 different equal turns. So it'd be that is what our angle would look like right here. Bring that up a little bit further. So our angle for 150 degrees, we're talking about this right here. That's our angle. Would be on a clock, would be 5 o'clock. Be 5 o'clock. You're gonna have to watch that one again. I can almost guarantee you. So do your best on this lesson, you guys. This is one of those things that it's a little different at first because you're not used to measuring angles in degrees. Your use of thinking about degrees is the temperature outside, but they're two completely different things. So do your best. The more you practice these lessons or these examples, or look at the examples and the problems in your book, and the more you practice, the better you will get. It's going to feel very uncomfortable at first. Trust me, you're very uncomfortable, but it's just like with anything else. The more you stick with it, the more you practice, seek out more examples. I gave you plenty in your online resources. Hopefully this helped a little bit. Hopefully it helped a bunch, but you are going to have to watch parts of this over and over and over again. Look at my back window here. I see a bunch of different angles. I may just have to figure out what degree each angle is, just for fun. Okay, you guys have a great day. Listen. Don't forget to keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for those stars. Until next time, we'll see you. We'll see you. Have a great day. Bye.